Hey, happy Wednesday. Today's July 31st, and we've got a lot to check in about with the planets. Um, there's a scattered feeling in the air. Um, a lot of ideas and communication and action happening. You might be feeling uh, a bit overwhelmed with that and with a pressure, like confronting limitation or hearing no from someone or an unexpected bit of news. Um, Planet Mercury is ruling this moon in Gemini. Moon in Gemini tends to be an active, social, vibrant energy. Um, and as I've shared before in some of these, it depends on your own chart how the moon moving through Gemini feels to you. My chart, I have several planets and points in Pisces and in Virgo. And so, but that Pisces Virgo axis is active for most of us born between 71 or between 58 and 71. We have Pluto and Uranus in Virgo. A smaller generation, those of us who are about 59 to 61, have Saturn in Pisces and Chiron in Pisces. And so as the moon travels through Gemini, it meets up in that confrontational energy for us with Saturn and with Uranus and Pluto. And that likely doesn't mean a whole lot to you, but it does affect how that moon in Gemini feels. And those of you in different ages and stages of life have different placements that aren't as predictable. Though many of my clients who are right around age 30 are currently in the first Saturn return. And so Moon and Gemini will have been squaring your Saturn as well. And so this collective Saturn and Pisces we're all feeling today, maybe yesterday as well, of maybe a constriction of that friendly, curious nature of the moon moving through Gemini. I talk about the moon as like the emotional weather of the day. And so squaring Saturn for us collectively could have shown up like hearing news that was unexpected or a sideswipe kind of a conversation. Could be just sort of a pressure of like, oh, there's some limitation here, or there's some meeting of a boundary that maybe wasn't expected. And that showed up for me. We also have planet Mercury, which is the ruling planet for Gemini and Virgo, is in the sign of Virgo. It's in the very beginning degrees, about 3 degrees of Virgo, and it's also slowing down. So we will have Mercury turning retrograde on Sunday, August 4th. And between now and Sunday, it's moving very little. So it's pretty standing still. And every year during the 3 or 4 Mercury retrograde periods, when Mercury is approaching that turning point, the stationing point, it's still. And Mercury is a fast moving energy and a messenger god that doesn't like to just stand still. So you might be feeling that as noticing that your thoughts or communication are sort of stuck on a point, or that you might feel like you're ruminating about something. And Mercury in Virgo tends to have a sharp focus, to be oriented towards the details and the way things are working, the way you're articulating words, the way you are formulating your ideas or getting things done. Mercury in Virgo wants a healthy expression. It wants a flow of integrity and functioning that when it's stationary is kind of thwarted. And so having that sense of having to slow down and keep your focus, it's in there, it's in the cosmos. It's not just you. And that's part of what I find so helpful with looking to the stars, looking to the astrology, is it helps me have a sense of context around what I'm perceiving. Now, we are also in the last several days of the Cancer lunar cycle that began July 5th. And Cancer energy as a water sign is that emotional, intuitive way of perceiving things. And the moon is waning. It's still in Gemini today. This evening, it'll be moving back into Cancer, its home sign, where our intuition, our emotional sensing, our just our perception feelers are really I do this like an anemone, that there's a lot of perception happening. And you're picking up on nuance and meaning and details that maybe you don't normally feel or intuit. Uh, and this waning moon is a time to finish up the cycle. There's a period of time from this moon in Cancer, the whole time the moon is in Cancer, until um, it moves into Leo Saturday afternoon, or no, Saturday morning, 4:10. Uh, so until Saturday morning early, this is a great time to finish up things that you've been working on this month, to close up the loose ends, to release some of the things you've been thinking about working on. Um, it's not a great energy to begin something new. Let's wait until that new moon in Leo on Sunday. Now here's got some things going on. Yes, Sunday's a big day, August 4th. Mercury turns retrograde. Venus enters the sign of Virgo, and we have a Leo new moon. So big energy shifting, and planet ingress of Venus into Virgo, planet changing direction, Mercury going retrograde, and a new lunar cycle beginning. So August 4th is a day to be aware of those shifts and changes. It is also the day that my friend and colleague, Eiley Olichny, and I are doing one of our Patreon gatherings. We have been all year meeting twice a month with a group of folks who are really wanting to tune in and work with the astrology, the energies present, and we use the tarot for added guidance in that. Fantastic deep conversations around what people are perceiving, noticing how they're feeling impacted in their lives. Relationships are growing as we're getting to know each other through this at this point pretty small community, about 10 people. And we do invite you to join us to participate in this conversation about the Leo new moon and the Mercury retrograde period. This is a really great time of year to come back into your heart, back to your authentic self, that at home in yourself, and to find your nature, your unique expression, who you are in the world, and what you are wishing to share, shine, and put out into your life. So I will include the link to sign up for our Sunday gathering. We meet on Zoom from 10 to 11:30 a.m. on Sunday, and would love to have you visit us if you're interested in exploring some of what's going on astrologically, and to experience some of the wisdom that Eiley brings with tarot. And we almost always have really wonderful guided visualization around the energies and archetypes that are most vivid in the time. Other things, I think that's really what I wanted to mention. There is a strength of energy, the planets in Gemini. So I talked about the moon. We also have Mars and Jupiter in Gemini, and the sun in Leo is 2 signs away. And so there's an active cooperative energy between the vitality of Mars and Gemini, that desire to experience things, to pursue variety and curiosity, is being in a strong conversation with the light of the sun, that energy. They're highly energetic. So you could feel like in general you're kind of energized. And Jupiter, the planet of expansion and learning through that Gemini energy, is also in that cooperative energy with the sun. And so it is a time where you might be feeling like you're energized, you're curious, you feel like communicating things. I think we're seeing this collectively with the renewed energy around um, the presidential election and Kamala Harris's nomination or potential nomination as the Democratic candidate, and all that has been coming to the front, all of the people who are expressing their allegiance and their support of her candidacy. I think that's how we see it in the collective. Um, and there's still that energy of uncertainty that was sparked with the Mars and Uranus and Taurus last month. So it's not like things are settled. It's not like anything's certain still, but it feels like the energy is expanding with possibilities and potential. And I know in all the uncertainty that I'm experiencing in different areas of my life, I am taking comfort in knowing that there's growth and expansion with different perspectives, with different opportunities, with a multiplicity of perspective. And that's what the Mars and Jupiter and Gemini is bringing us. So I offer that to you. And I hope that especially as the moon moves into Cancer later tonight and the next couple of days, that's a time for feeling at home in yourself, for having kind of a more introverted, tender, nurturing time. Moon in Cancer can have us feel very sensitive and tender, but it's also a time to really take good care, to really nurture your emotional self, your physical self, find the comforts of home, and um, soften, soften as much as you can. Um, and I really hope you join us for the conversation about the Leo new moon. Next week, I will do another video and we'll talk a little more about the Leo lunar cycle and this Mercury retrograde journey. But hope to see you on Sunday. And I hope you're having a great rest of this week. Okay, friends, take care. Bye.